Shout out to this fan for coming up with the idea to this video. If you have any cool ideas for a future video, let me know in the comments below. I may just give you a shout out. What's up everybody, I'm the Net Alliance. Today I'm asking the question, what if Obi-Wan survived the Death Star at the end of A New Hope? So there are multiple different things that could happen from this, but before we go with that, let me set up the scenario. Okay, so here's Obi-Wan and here's Darth Vader, they're fighting, and Luke's like, Obi-Wan, come on, come help it. And then instead of Obi-Wan being like, oh, watch me die, and he decides to just force push the stormtroopers out of the way, and then he uses the force to make himself do that force run, really fast speed thing that they can do in the first one. I don't know if you can do that when you're that old, but maybe. But considering that Obi-Wan's only supposed to be the exact same age as Qui-Gon in the first film, then yeah, then he should be able to do it. True story. Look it up. Anyways, so Obi-Wan then escapes with the rest of our heroes on the Millennium Falcon away from the Death Star, and then that's where we go on from there. So there are multiple different things that will happen because of this. So let's start with the first thing. So right away, Obi-Wan's gonna have to train Luke. And so what I think he's gonna do is he's gonna wanna take him to Dagobah to meet with Yoda, and then they'll train him together and make him a perfect Jedi with both training abilities. Which would make sense, but there's a catch to this, because if you remember, Luke does something pretty interesting at the end of A New Hope. He blows up the Death Star. So I think the scenario would go the exact same in the actual film, except for Luke would be taken out due to the fact that he's now with Ben and Yoda training on Dagobah. So what we would see is all the rebels attack the Death Star without Luke. They go for the exhaust port, and then they all get blown up due to the fact that we've seen them all get destroyed in the actual film, and they lose the battle. So then the Empire is like, why are they all going towards the exhaust port? Maybe because it's the only thing that can blow up the Death Star from the outside. Do you think they did that on purpose? Nah. But just in case, let's put some more defenses there, maybe even cover that thing up so they can't just destroy it like nothing. And so now the Death Star is more built up, and you can't just blow it up like nothing like in the fourth film. So now this begs the question, we have to decide when we're gonna hit the Death Star, and we're gonna make sure that Vader dies too, because Vader's a jerk and he needs to die. But there are two arguments to this. First off, both Obi-Wan and Yoda will want as much time as possible to train Luke to make sure he's as powerful as he can be before they all go to face Darth Vader. But on the Rebel side, they want to get in there and destroy that thing before it destroys any more of their Rebel planets. So after some argument, I think they would eventually come to an agreement. So I think what they'll decide is Obi-Wan and Yoda take Luke to train him, make him as powerful as you can. Just try your best, okay? Because we don't know where this Death Star is gonna go. We'll keep track of it. We don't know exactly what planet it's gonna go to next, but when it gets too close to one of our planets that is able to destroy it, we're gonna have to attack. Of course, I feel Obi-Wan and Yoda would see that this may not be agreeable terms, but they really don't have a choice, so they're gonna have to go with it anyways. So what I feel the Empire would do would be slowly to move to the next planet, the next major planet behind Alderaan. But not go there as quick as they can, just kind of take their time to kind of work. He knows the rebels know about the station now, and they're probably tracking him. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna slowly make his way around, but he's also going to make sure his defenses are up and ready for a fight. Or at least that's what I would do. Now, I don't actually know what would be considered the secondary planet to the rebellion. I wouldn't consider it Hoth, but it might be. Maybe Yavin 4, that might be it. I don't actually know what you would consider the main rebel planet. I'm gonna guess Yavin 4, so let's just say they want the Yavin 4. Now, of course, that took a while to travel that entire space station over, so I'm gonna say probably about a year that Luke had to train with Obi-Wan and Yoda just for argument's sake. Now, a year of training isn't particularly that big of a deal, but when you have two of the strongest Jedi Masters ever training you, kind of just teaching you all the basics and what's on top of that and the stuff you're actually gonna need, I think you kind of learn really good, especially when you're as strong as Luke is. So I think it would work out pretty well, and I think he would become very powerful. Of course, I'm just basing that off the scenario, so maybe he wouldn't become as powerful, but I think he would. So we'll say that Luke became pretty powerful. I wouldn't say he's as strong as he is in Episode 6, but he's definitely stronger than he was in Episode 5, so we'll go with that. So the rebels alert Obi-Wan, Luke, and Yoda to the whole Yavin being attacked, are about to be attacked, and the rebels all come to Yavin to take down this massive threat, as well as Luke and his other Jedi companions. Now, if you remember, the exhaust port is now pretty much covered, it's pretty much defended, there's no way they're gonna get anywhere near it to blow up the station. So the only way to blow up the station is to actually enter it and blow it up from the inside. So what the rebels are gonna plan is a massive strike. I'm talking cruisers, I'm talking mini cruisers, I'm talking frigates, I'm talking even every X-Wing, every bomber they got. They're just gonna send them all right in with a whole bunch of task crews as well. The plan is to get the Empire's attention, get them thinking they're assaulting the Death Star from the outside, and then to send the little squads inside through the hangars. And of course, one of these squads would be Luke, Obi-Wan, and Yoda all getting ready to go take down Darth Vader. Now, when it comes down to it, Darth Vader is going to sense Luke, and Obi-Wan's probably going to sense Darth Vader, and they'll all probably sense each other. And so that's what's going to be the distraction of Darth Vader. So while the rest of the rebellion squads heading into the actual interior of the Death Star are taking out the troopers and all the guards inside, slowly working their way to the core of the Death Star, Luke, Obi-Wan, and Yoda are going to confront Vader, or at least distract him, so the squads can actually get to the core, set the bombs, and then prepare it for destruction. So this is where the story kind of gets interesting, due to the fact that so many different outcomes can happen. First off, the rebels could then fail at setting the bombs, all the squads could die, and then the entire rebel attack that happened is pretty much for nothing and everyone dies. Or they could set the bombs and then Obi-Wan, Yoda, and Luke all confront Darth Vader. They all fight him, and chances are with all three of them attacking him, there's no way he's gonna make it. So Vader's defeated, the Death Star has the charges set, everyone gets off the Death Star, and then boom, that's the end of the movie. So it depends on what timeline you want to take. I'm gonna go with the latter because it sounds better to me. So that's it. Pretty much the rebellion won the day, the Death Star is gone, Vader is gone, and everyone's happy. But with all these good things, there's still one question remaining. How is the Emperor gonna react to this? And that would take us into the 6th film where the Emperor is now the villain. But when it comes down to it, when we have the Emperor versus Luke, Obi-Wan, and Yoda, and this time Luke's gonna be even more trained by the time they face him, I'm pretty sure the Emperor's still gonna get beaten anyway. So then that storyline is kind of moot to do anyways. But if you want to see it, I guess leave a comment below. But that's it for this theory. Afterwards, Obi-Wan and Yoda would both die of old age, and Luke would be trained to be a perfect Jedi due to the fact that he was trained by not just one Jedi, but he was trained by 2. Both Obi-Wan and Yoda, 2 of the most legendary Jedis, and I think that would make Luke a better overall, not only Force wielder, but also saber wielder, as well as just an overall better Jedi. But of course, that's just my opinion. What do you think would happen if Obi-Wan survived the Death Star? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe if you guys enjoy my videos, and until next time guys, we'll see ya. Peace.